I think it's more of a civic duty, and so I'm coming from Belgium, and we see that. We see that voting is compulsory, but there is no real implementation if you don't go and vote. Normally you should pay, legally you should pay a fine, but it's never applied, never implemented. But people keep on voting. They know they're not going to be sanctioned, but they think it's a duty. They say it on their voting card, voting is a duty, and you see that 90% of the people do vote, though they know there would be no sanction. So we really see that, I think for most people it remains a social norm and not really a legal norm. If you're socialized in a country where everybody says voting is important, the state tells you voting is important, it's a duty, and your parents are telling that and your teachers are telling that, you can see that if the majority follow that, then the social norms becomes very strong. And what happens is if people around you don't feel voting is a social norm, it's a social duty, then you may start saying, okay, it's perhaps not that important. That's why I think younger generations are voting less, because among them, around them, they see their friends who do not think it's a real duty. And so if you hear that message, you may decide not to vote, but if the vast majority of the people do vote, then you follow the crowd. I think that's the main cause. It's the idea that if you see your neighbors, your best friends, not voting and there is no catastrophe, then you say, why am I going to bother? But then if you realize, like last Sunday, you had local election in Belgium, I can see all my neighbors going. So if you see everybody going to the polling station, then you feel it's a norm. I think it's much more important than actual sanction. I think it's important. You have to really show that it's important not only for you, but it's important for your neighbors, and it's going to have an impact. That's also the thing. Is that one of the reasons why some people decide not to vote is that they don't see the link between their actual vote, their actual demand, and what is later implemented by government. And so if you lose that link, if for example you vote for a party that is promising something and then 6 months afterwards that party is coming and say, sorry, we cannot do that, it's too costly, or the European Union doesn't want us to do it, then if you don't really see the impact, then you're not going to vote. So it's about a social norm, but it's also about the actual impact of your vote. I think the major thing to make people vote is really to restore the importance of elections, to show that election is a national moment, a moment of national community, that it's the entire country that is taking part and you should take part as well. So it should not be seen as an individual act, but it has to be seen as an act of the national people.